The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Feeling powerless is a devastating experience. If given the choice, everyone would opt for more rather than less power, but being so open in an attempt to seize power is frowned upon. To attain power, you need to be subtle, cunning, and democratic, yet devious. In his controversial book, The 48 Laws of Power, the author Robert Greene argues that if you manage to seduce, charm, and deceive your opponents, you will attain the ultimate power. He states that the better you become at handling power, the better friend, lover, and person you will become because you learn how to make others feel good about themselves, which makes them dependent on you as a source of great pleasure to be around. To the author, power is amoral. It's a social game, and to master it, you must be able to study and understand people. Still, you must always take the most indirect route to power, and the 48 Laws of Power is a handbook in the various arts of indirection. Covering a span of more than 3,000 years, this book includes 48 pieces of wisdom from men and women across a variety of international civilizations that all share a common thread. It is a distillation of the accumulated wisdom and a veritable how-to guide on how to become more powerful. It is a priceless source of knowledge for those seeking to get ahead. The book is structured as a detailed list that delves into each law in detail, and in this video, we're gonna take a look at each of the laws in turn and extract the key takeaways for you to consider before making your next move, in hope to encourage you to read it and study each law thoroughly. Laws from 1 to 15 focus on teaching you how to never outshine the master, because the better you make your master appear, the greater the level of power you will attain. Also, never put too much trust in friends, rather learn how to use enemies. Friends are more likely to betray you in haste as they are more prone to envy. However, if you hire a former enemy, they will prove themselves more trustworthy as they have more to prove. Make sure to conceal your intentions because by keeping your intentions obscured, your opponents will not be able to defend themselves. And by being bland and inconspicuous, people are even less likely to doubt your intentions as they trust the familiar. Always say less than necessary, because the more you say, the more likely is that you will end up saying something foolish, but by controlling what you reveal, you can wield great power. Guard your reputation with your life because so much depends on it. It is the cornerstone of your power, so make it impenetrable and predict attacks before they occur. Also, court attention at all costs. Since everything is judged by appearance, you must always stand out. Make yourself appear larger, more interesting, and more mysterious than the masses. Get others do the work for you, but always take credit. Never do for yourself what the efforts of others can do for you. Use their wisdom and knowledge to further your own cause. Make other people come to you and, if necessary, use bait. Also, always make sure that you win through your actions and never through an argument. Make sure to avoid the unhappy and unlucky ones because emotional states can be as infectious as diseases. Learn to keep people dependent on you, and the more people rely on you, the more freedom you have. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim, and keep in mind that a single honest gesture can help cover the traces of dozens of dishonest acts. When you're asking for help, make sure to appeal to the self-interest of others and never to their mercy or gratitude. Pose as a friend, but work as a spy, because by posing as a friend, you can ask indirect questions and gradually get your opponents to reveal their weaknesses and their intentions. Then crush your enemy totally by giving them nothing to negotiate with and no room to maneuver, and if you manage to remove all of your opponent's options, then they will have no choice but to bend to your will. Chapters 16 to 30 teach us things that are very valuable to know, such as to use absence to increase respect and honor, because the more present you are, the more common you appear. So create an air of scarcity around yourself to increase your perceived value. Also, keep others in suspended terror by cultivating an air of unpredictability. By acting unpredictably, your opponents will tire themselves out by trying to predict and analyze your moves. Theory will feel like they don't really know you and will be intimidated. But also make sure that you're not building fortresses to protect yourself, because isolation is very dangerous since it cuts you off from valuable information. Instead, always know what you're dealing with and make sure to not offend the wrong person. And never commit to anyone but yourself, because your independence is what allows you to play people off against each other. Play a sucker to catch a sucker, or in other words, appear dumber than your mark and you will win, because nobody likes to feel stupid. And once your opponents believe that they're more intelligent, they will never suspect that you have any ulterior motives. Then transform your weaknesses into power by using the surrender tactic. And the perfect time to surrender is right before you're about to be defeated, because this buys you more time to plot your revenge and to torment your conqueror. Concentrate your forces by focusing them all on a single source of power. Play the perfect courtier that wields power through discrete avenues. By flattering and yielding to their superiors and only enforcing their power through charm and grace, they gradually accumulate an ever-increasing amount of power. Then recreate yourself. Never accept the role that society gives you. Forge your own identity that commands attention. But also keep your hands clean and maintain a spotless appearance. Then create a cult-like following by playing on people's need to believe, and then enter action with boldness that everybody will respect. Plan every detail all the way to the end, which means you'll need to think through every possibility that could prevent you from reaching your end goal. And always make your accomplishments seem effortless. Make your success seem easy, and never ever reveal how you reached your position of power to anyone, or they may use it against you. From chapter 31 all the way till the end of chapter 48, the author focuses on teaching you the Thor phase lessons, which are no less important than the first and second parts. He suggests that you get others to play with the cards you deal, which means always controlling your options. By giving your opponents a choice, they will feel that they're controlling their destiny. What they won't realize is that you're using them as a puppet to choose between two scenarios, both of which serve you. Also, play into people's fantasies, because if the truth is ugly and you appeal to it, then you risk being bombarded with the anger of disattachment. Instead, by tapping into the fantasies of the masses, people will flock to you as you offer an alternative to the disillusionment of reality. Discover each man's thumbscrew and be royal in your own fashion, because when you act like a king, you'll be treated like one. It's very important that you master the art of timing to never seem like you're in a rush, because patience is a virtue. Disdain the things that you don't have, since ignoring them is the best revenge. The less interest you take in things that irritate you, the more superior you seem. Instead, create compelling spectacles, and by generating grand, spectacular gestures, you will heighten your presence and power. Think as you like, but behave like others, and by consistently going against the grain in public, people will begin to resent you for making them feel inferior. Another lesson that this book will teach you is to stir up the water to catch fish, because if you can stay calm while infuriating your opponents, you will gain an advantage. Also, to deposit the free lunch, which means you should never trust anything that comes for free. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. All trouble can usually be traced back to one individual, By rooting out this individual and preventing them from operating, you will stop their influence. Don't waste time or their influence will multiply. Work on the hearts and minds of others, because if people feel coerced into acting in a specific way, they will resent you. Instead, you must seduce others so that they act how you want without you having to ask them. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once, and never appear too perfect. Don't go past the mark you aimed for, because in victory you must learn when to stop. Don't let success go to your head. The moment you achieve victory is often when you are at your most vulnerable. Don't get ahead of yourself with your overconfidence and push beyond your initial target. This could create more enemies than you are capable of defeating. There can be no substitute for meticulous strategic planning. Once you reach your goal, stop. Finally, assume formlessness, because by being tangible, you open yourself up to attack. So accept that everything, everywhere changes, and embody this truth. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to hit that bell button so you can get notified whenever there's a new book summary ready for you.